Welcome to another edition of the BFNL Footy Show. Thanks to Ballarat McDonald's and Ballarat Toyota. My name is Yeendy. Excited to be with you as always for every show. And I'm here with Aaron Nunn again, who's, you got the tap on the shoulder, go around again, mate. So that's always good news.
I did, mate. I'm sick of picking up all the pieces for these boys in the office. But anyway, someone has to do it.
You're walking around with a mop and bucket?
Oh, that's it. Anyway.
Just tidying up as we look ahead to round 8 of this week's matches in BFNL Footy. And we've got 8th place Ballarat versus 5th place Sunbury. Ballarat coming off the bye. They'll be looking to try and get a big win on the board against Sunbury side, who's looking pretty good at the moment.
They are a great win for Sunbury last weekend against their arch rivals Redan, especially away from home. Redan are normally traditionally pretty tough to beat at the City Oval, but Sunbury would have been very happy with that win, particularly on such a big occasion, given Redan was celebrating their 10-year premiership reunion over Sunbury on that day back in 2007. So it would have been great for them to sort of get one back in a small way. It doesn't bring back the premierships, unfortunately, but great to see that. Ballarat, young side, having the week off. I think they're just sort of getting through this year, I suppose. They don't have too many superstars in their lineup. They've got some good young kids coming through. They've caused an upset already in defeating North Ballarat City at the start of the year. It's hard to see, even at home, them getting over a pretty impressive Sunbury lineup who are playing good footy at the moment.
So you think Sunbury will get up in this one?
I think so.
Now, I expect Sunbury to win, but I'd like to see Ballarat win on their home turf just to make things very interesting, because then that'll sort of bring the pack a little bit closer for those spot teams fighting for a spot in the top 6.
Yeah, I certainly don't give them no chance. Ballarat has the ability, in particular on their home ground, where they run the ball really well. They've got a young, quick side, and they play exciting footy. But unfortunately, with that becomes the need for a defensive element, and I don't think they've quite got that as part of their game just yet. So I think Sunbury just in this one.
Yeah. I think with Ballarat, they've challenged some of the better sides in the competition. It's about time they get another win on the board, and we wouldn't be talking about that North Ballarat City win, which was very impressive earlier on in the season so much. The next game we'll be talking about is East Point in 9th spot against Sebastian in 11th spot, and this game, of course, is broadcast on 97.9 FM at the ground. Is Sebastian a chance to break their first win for the season?
They are, because Sebastopol beat East Point last year, albeit in wet, soggy conditions on their home deck, and given the grounds now are in pretty good condition and this game is being played at the Eastern Oval, they're certainly not without a chance. But look, East Point, they're just playing really good, fast, exciting football at the moment, and I think they're throwing caution to the wind and they're catching a few sides off guard in doing that. So it's great to see them playing that fast style of football and moving it into their forward line really quickly and giving their forwards a chance to kick goals. And it was great to see young Jake McQueen kick a bag full on the weekend, and if they've got his services again on the weekend, there's no reason why he couldn't do that again. So I think East Point in a tight one, but definitely with the way they're playing footy, definitely the Kangaroos.
East Point's 3 weeks have been pretty impressive. They've challenged some good sides, they've won some games. I'll look for them to be a side that's come from the bottom half of the ladder to challenge for a spot in the top 6 at the business end of the season, given their run of momentum in recent weeks.
Yeah, definitely.
North Ballarat City, who have only won one game this season, take on a red-hot Melton side. One side coming into the game with a big loss under the belt, and another side coming in with a confidence-boosting win. Yeah,
look, Melton have traditionally been very disappointing when they've come up to play in Ballarat. It's a hoodoo that they haven't been able to get over in the past, and this is as good an opportunity as they're going to get, playing against a struggling North Ballarat City side who have been ravaged through injury. They've got a very young side on the park, albeit a very impressive young side, but I think if they were ever going to beat North Ballarat City, this weekend is their biggest opportunity to actually do that. So, look, I think Melton are good enough to win the game, but I think, again, on their home deck, until Melton can start winning games in Ballarat, I'm going to tip North Ballarat City in a very, very close one.
Well, if Melton want to play finals, they've got to start winning games in Ballarat. So I'm banking on them to break the duck and come through with a valuable win and throw themselves straight in the mix of the top 6 when all is said and done. As we look to the match of the round on paper, it's Bacchus Smash in 3rd spot, playing at home at Mattingly Park to Lake Windermere, who were undefeated in 2017.
Yeah, this would be a cracker. 2 weeks in a row that Lake Windermere travelled down the highway to play against sides in the Bacchus Marsh area. Obviously getting over Darley last weekend. Bacchus Marsh are starting to play some really good footy after, I guess you could call it, that shock loss to Darley in round 1. They haven't really put a foot wrong since. So, I think the Marsh at home should be good enough to get over the Lakers. I'm not giving the Lakers much credit here, I know, but look, they've just been going, I think, during the first half of the season, albeit that they haven't dropped a game yet, which they would see as a positive. They're not playing their best footy just yet, and they're still sitting undefeated on top of the ladder. But I think the Marsh will get over the top of them and get the 4 points. If
Lake Windaree get up, are they red hot premiership favourites, or do you think that...
Absolutely. And look, I think over the last couple of years, the Lakers have done this. They've won a lot of games in the first half of the year, and then they've copped those injuries in the back half, and probably had extended runs too, where they haven't had those buys in the second half of the year as well. So they've had a really tough run into the finals, and it's caught up with them at the business end of the season. So if they can keep their full list fit out on the park playing good footy, they're going to be very tough to beat and probably the favourite for the flag. But look, until such time as someone beats Bacchus Marsh or knocks them out of a final series, in my opinion, they're still the team to beat. Until
the Lakers make a grand final.
Yeah,
that's going to be a big thing for them. And the final game of the round, it's Redan versus Melton South, and alarm bells ringing for both sides. Probably no more so than Melton South.
Absolutely, both sides will be looking at this match as a must-win encounter, because they will lose touch with the top three sides in the competition if they drop this game. So. A huge match in the scheme of the season. We talk about 8-point matches all the time from an AFL perspective. If there is such thing as an 8-point match in the BFL, this is probably one of them. So, I know both sides will be livid with the way that they actually performed last weekend, and they'll be, pretty keen to get back on the winners list. But I think Redan at home in a slog, just given the way that I suppose Melton South's last block of games have been. Redan's really only been the last 1 or 2 weeks where they've struggled, whereas South, I think their period of struggle has probably been a little bit longer than Redan. So based on that, I think I'll go for Redan at home.
I'm going to back South here, just to the fact that they really haven't beaten too many teams of great substance when they've got the wins on the board. I mean, the teams that have won have now beaten. They've started to get some momentum. So if South want to make finals, this is essential. They need to win this game, and perhaps the way things are going in the competition, the loser could find themselves out of the 6.
Yeah, and keeping in mind too that South played a couple of their games before the season actually started, so the fixture itself is starting to catch up on South, and we're starting to find out where they sort of slot into the season. But look, they've done a wonderful job in getting this side on the park. They're coming from a long way back. Last year they were almost non-competitive, I guess you could say, and now they're a really competitive side. And I think the realisation of just how even and how good a competition the Ballarat Football Netball League is starting to hit them, and they need to sort of gather stock and concentrate on getting things right, and I'm sure that they'll start putting the performance on the board.
Well, as you mentioned before, they started the competition fairly early, and they'll pick up some rest periods later on in the season.
Yeah, that's right, they will.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us on the BFNL Footy Show. Looking ahead to round 8 in the competition, mate, and who knows, we may see you again later on the year.
Oh, hopefully not, Yeendy, but anyway, I'm happy to chip in when I have to.
Good on you.
Thanks, mate.